Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Webheads podcast. I'm your co-host, DeMarco, sitting next to my co-host, Steven.
What's up?
Let's get it going.
Hello, hello, hello.
So what you been up to?
This week I did nothing but work.
Nice.
Yeah, today.
As adults do.
Yeah, I can never tell if anybody is thrown off by our updates or our weekly updates because
It's because the show comes out later.
yeah. So this one's gonna come out like mid-November. So don't be thrown off by what I'm gonna say, but I'm taking my daughter to the pumpkin patch today.
Nice.
Yeah, me, Zara, Fario, and I think Farah and her boyfriend.
Should be fun.
Yeah, we're going to the Del Oso one,
Where's that one?
Lathrop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it sounds like it's far, but I think it's only like 15 minutes from our house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they have and I've only been there. I think we went there with Nina one time.
That's the one with the pumpkin cannons?
Yeah, and they had like a big ass corn maze.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then during Christmas time they have like sledding.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to go. Well, I don't know. Pumpkin patches and mazes.
What happened? What's the worst that could happen?
Get lost.
Yeah, but even if that happens, yeah, you don't have to go to work. But that's all. Yeah, that's all I got going on. I'm just going to the pumpkin patch. Next week we're gonna go to the fair, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Not much. I just came back from my birthday.
Extravaganza.
Yeah, it was fun. We stayed in the city. Mm-hmm. So we got there Friday. So we only stayed like one night. Mm. But Friday we went to the Van Gogh museum exhibit thing.
How was that?
It was okay. It's not what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, I thought it was going to be like a walkthrough, like experience, and you're going to see like different art and everything. It's really, you walk into a room, a big room, and they have like projectors, and they project like this show with like music. And,
is it only one room?
Yeah.
Oh.
Literally all it is. And the show lasts maybe like 30 minutes or something. And you can sit in there as long as you want. So we watched it twice. And then we left. So it was not the best, but it was all right.
I saw a video on it because they were doing it in Anaheim. Mm-hmm. A couple, maybe last month or the month before. Mm. And it looked like theirs had like more like there was one big room and then there's like a couple like smaller ones.
Wow.
And then they had like a gift shop at the end.
Yeah, ours was literally just the room, and then you walk out, and then there's like a photo kind of thing, but it's only like 2 or 3 like spots to take photos. And then they have like a cafe and then the gift shop at the end. So yeah, it wasn't like...
And I'm not checking your pockets, but how much was it? You don't have to tell me the exact price, but was it expensive?
I actually don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know how much it was.
Works for me.
And then we went to...
So I think it was like $50 at the Anaheim one.
Oh, okay.
Or $35 maybe, I don't know.
I think it was in the 30 range. Our hotel was really nice though. We stayed at the Hyatt, like right towards like not Mission, but what's that area with like the mall, where the mall's at? And
I don't know the name of it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so we were there. We had a really nice view of like all the buildings and everything. So that was really cool. And then we went to this vegan Mexican restaurant the night of Friday.
All right.
It was really good. I think it was like called Vida Cantina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, really good. Yeah.
Check that out. The only thing is I hate going to the city.
Yeah.
I'm not a good driver in stressful situations, and like you make one wrong turn in San Francisco and then all of a sudden you're like going the wrong way down in one way.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that shit. And then everybody wants to cut you off because they don't know what they're doing either.
And there's like so many like weird like turn places. It's like you're going down straight and then all of a sudden it kind of veers off and then there's a turn and then
I hate it.
So, yeah, we did that. Vita Cantina that night. Saturday comes. We had a late checkout, so we stayed in the hotel for a little bit, and then we went to Urban Putt after, which was fun. Got to play some mini golf, have a couple drinks, and then came home.
Not bad.
Overall, it was a good time. Got to get away from things, but not too far.
Yeah, that's
And
always
then just kind of got to relax and hang out.
good. Yeah, that's little staycations are always good every once in a while.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I feel
'cause
refreshed.
you don't have you probably don't have the time to get away on an actual vacation.
Yeah.
But you're far enough away, and it's just enough time for you to feel like you got out of like the normal stuff.
Yeah. Overall, great weekend. Shout out to Danny for this whole weekend. You the best.
All right, you want to get into it?
Let's get
We
into
got a
it.
lot.
This is going to be a long one.
Yeah. Today we're doing the Thanos War. Everybody seems like
Thanos
everybody has a
War.
war. Mr. Klein's war wasn't really a war.
Yeah, I feel like he just paid somebody to get that title.
Yeah. The Thanos War it's a war by definition. But yeah, I'll say it's a war. There's definitely two sides here. So but I did want to, because it's such a long story, I wanted to give everybody kind of a little insight on who's going to be in the story, because there's a few characters. Mm-hmm. We've seen a few of them before, but a handful of them we haven't. First, we get Iron Man.
We know Iron Man.
Iron Man, he's back to being rich again. We get Thanos, who I don't think we've seen yet.
I don't think we have.
I don't think we've read anything on him just yet. So we got the big bad Thanos. I think I mentioned this before, but so Captain Marvel and Rick Jones are here in the story, and Rick Jones keeps calling Thanos Big T. Like, this man is trying to kill you, and you're giving him nicknames. So Thanos is here. In this story, he's gonna be simping pretty hard. He's chasing love, big time. We got Captain Marvel, like I said. He's back to switching spots with Rick Jones, like they were a few weeks ago in the Kree Skrull War. Even though at the end of that, they didn't. Captain Marvel was supposed to be stuck in the negative zone, but some things have happened since then. Now they're back to switching.
Okay.
And you know what I also forgot to mention too is that, like, I know that we're reading through all these stories, but a lot of these stories are happening over, like, in real time, like months. I mean, sometimes a year.
Oh, like the whole event
yeah.
itself. Yeah.
Like this Thanos War is easily like a year's worth of reading. And I always forget about that, because it's like we're just reading through it all at once.
That is true.
But like if you were actually going through this, like in
When it came out.
1979, like you're reading this thing for a whole year. That's crazy. So we got I don't know if you know of these guys, the Blood Brothers.
Actually, never heard of them.
The Blood Brothers. They're two of Thanos's errand boys, basically. They're throughout the whole story, they're just doing their best to stay in his good graces. But they get themselves into some fights with some heavy hitters. And they're pretty damn strong. We got Mentor, who's Thanos' dad.
Wow.
Yeah, we got Eros, who's Thanos' brother. Mm-hmm. We have, I believe this is the first appearance of Drax the Destroyer.
But not in his normal
Not in
normal looking Drax.
Yeah, not in the movie kind of looking Drax. He's weird looking here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Drax in the story, he's a humanoid that Mentor created with his only purpose being to kill Thanos. And he has somewhat of the same backstory as the movie Drax. But I'll get into it a little bit later. It's kind of crazy. I had no idea that that's how it was. We have Kronos, who is Mentor's father and the grandfather to Thanos and Eros.
Also an Eternal.
Yes. And we have
Death. Lady Death.
Embodiment of
Death.
Yes. She's actually the sister to Eternity, Galactus, Infinity, and Oblivion.
Galactus?
Yeah. Yep. So we saw Eternity in the formation, or we heard of Eternity in the formation of the Defenders. So that's her brother, Galactus.
It's funny that you mentioned all of those. I have no problem with understanding the fact that Death is related to those ones, but Galactus, I'm just like, what the fuck?
Wait a minute.
You sure he's not adopted?
He's probably got a different dad or something. So, yeah, she's their siblings, and then she gets Thanos to fall in love with her, only to just keep rejecting him, like, multiple times. Like, nonstop.
She's the girl at school who's like, here, hold my books.
Yeah.
And then he just does everything. Oh, yeah, I really like her. I think we're going to make it. And then she's just like, yeah, he's just a cool friend.
Yeah. Just don't talk to me. But
Don't
hold
talk
these
to me, don't
books.
look at me, but here's my books, here's my purse.
Yeah.
Meet me at my class at 4 o'clock.
But I have science. I didn't ask you.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
That's nice, Terry.
And my homework is due tomorrow, so have it ready.
It's Thanos, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact. Apparently, Thanos and his brother, every year, there's a day where they just don't fight each other. They're not enemies, and they just celebrate each other's birthdays.
I was on Instagram one time, and I saw, they have those pages where they'll just take a couple pages out of a comic book. I saw one where Thanos shows up on this guy's birthday every year.
Oh, that's him.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, that's his brother?
Yeah.
Are you sure? No, because he was showing up on this guy's birthday to ruin his birthday every year, and every year he was making it worse and worse.
Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Him and his brother have a truce where they hang out with each other on their birthdays.
No, this one was different. He was every year on this guy's birthday, I think from his very first birthday, he showed up and killed his parents one year. He showed up and smashed his cake one year. He caused this guy to fail out of classes.
That's a huge decline.
Yeah.
You start big and then you just go small stuff from there.
And then the guy at one point just got to a point where he was like, I don't want to celebrate my birthday anymore. He didn't do anything for his birthday. Thanos didn't show up, nothing. And then he was like, I think it's over. And then then the very next year he celebrated his birthday, and then Thanos showed up and killed him. So don't ever let Infinity War and Endgame lead you to believe that Thanos was ever really a good guy. His motive might have made sense a little bit, but he's still a bad guy.
Also, for people wondering, what if Thanos looks like a purple grimace?
Yeah.
Does his brother look like one? The answer is no.
No.
Thanos is the only one in his family who looks like that.
Yeah, and I read that it's like we were talking about in the Eternals special. He has a little bit of a deviant gene.
Yeah.
Which is why he's purple.
Yeah. And huge.
Yeah, and can wreck everybody on his planet.
And has that weird chin.
Yeah.
No one else has that.
His dad and his brother look just normal white people.
Yeah. His mom looks a little different, but not too different.
Yeah. So we start the story. We start this whole thing off with Iron Man getting completely done over by the Blood Brothers, just badly.
So they just come in and wreck him?
Yeah. Well, this issue is where the event starts, but I think they were fighting at the end of the last issue. I didn't read the one before because there was so much. So, yeah, he's getting beat down by the Blood Brothers, and then after they finish eating Tony's lunch and taking his lunch money, basically.
We're the Blood Brothers, brother.
They're basically like the old Doyle family. And so, yeah. They take him after they beat him down. They take him to some barren wasteland where they, and then when they arrive at the wasteland, the place basically opens up. Was that your stomach?
I think it was. Jeez.
They arrive at the wasteland, and the planet just opens up like all the sand is just pouring down. It's like some trap door.
Oh,
basically.
like a Batcave situation.
Yeah. And it opens up to reveal an underground metropolis. It's huge, city. Like they show up at some basically like it looks like the middle of the desert, and then it opens up and you go under, and it's just this big booming like whatever like show thought the future was gonna look like. Mm-hmm. It's like flying cars and all this stuff. That's what it looks like under there. It's crazy.
Seriously, I'm just imagining just like upbeat music. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you get under there
like
and
flying cars.
you get under there, and then the music is playing like from Oga's Cantina and stuff. So yeah, when they get in there, they go straight to the jail, and then we see Thanos, and it's super early in the story, obviously, but Thanos already has Drax locked up in prison, so they throw Tony in there too, and then we immediately hit a flashback, and then the Blood Brothers are showing up at Stark Industries on Thanos' orders, and then while they're fighting, Drax was sending mind messages from the prison to Tony. They've never met ever, but he knows that Tony is probably the only person that can help him.
So, 2 questions.
Yes.
1, what do the Blood Brothers look like?
In this story, they almost look like the Thing, but like a dark red color.
So like Rocky, like
Yeah.
kind of hide. Okay.
Yeah.
And then second question, Tony and Drax are in the same prison?
No. Well, yes. So like I got a little confusing, but in the beginning, yes, they take the Blood Brothers, beat him up, take him to the Metropolis, and throw him in prison with Drax. Mm-hmm. And then they immediately do a flashback to show us how he got to that point. And that's at Stark Industries, and the Blood Brothers are showing up because Thanos knows that Tony's probably going to be able to like put up a fight against him from stopping him from getting...
so he just like...
So he sends the Blood Brothers to go take him out. But then...
He's like, I foresee this guy giving me trouble.
Yeah,
go
and
get him
because
before.
Drax is at the prison where Thanos is at, he... I guess overheard the plan. So,
okay.
And Drax in this story has like these mind powers where he can relay any message that he wants to any single person, but he has to know where they're at. So he hits Tony basically. Well, Tony's in the middle of fighting the Blood Brothers, and they've never met, so he's just getting this voice popping into his head, and he's like, what the hell is this? But Drax is sending the mind messages to Tony, informing him of the issues that are to come. And then we see like these, in the panels, we see visions of how Thanos came to be evil. And his dad, Mentor, raised him, and his brother Eros on the moon of Saturn, which is Titan. And then as they grew up, Thanos started building weapons on their planet. That planet just didn't have weapons like this. Like he was building like stuff to kill some places, blow places up. And once his daddy found out, he was like, no, you got to get the hell out of here. We are not going to have this on this planet. No, we're not having it. And then after that, that was basically his father kicking him out or kicking him off the planet was what started Thanos on this like road to vengeance.
Dang, like not even kicked out of the house, not out of the town or the city.
Nah.
Like you just gotta get off the planet.
Get off of my planet.
Logistics of that.
I don't even want to see you come back here.
I guess as an Earthling, you can't really we can't compare it to anything because just sending someone to space takes like hella years and hella money.
You actually have to train the...
Yeah. But to just tell someone, like, get off the planet.
Get off the... It's one thing for, like, somebody who, get out of the state.
Yeah.
That's probably, the equivalent for us. It's like, I don't even want to hear your name in this state. If I look it up, I don't want to see that you're even here. Get out. But he was like, get off my planet. So, yeah, that's... Thanos, his only goal is vengeance now at this point. He wants to get back his father. And then so Thanos leaves after he gains a big enough army to attack Titan. He comes in with the guns blazing. He's like, I'm going to murder everybody here. As many people as I can. So Mentor, fearing for his planet, reached out to his father, Kronos, for help, which he provided, but he's only able to ever help Titan one time. So
Everybody gets one.
he's like, I can help, but don't ask me for help again because it won't come.
That's just from what you've talked about already. I can already see how unstable Thanos is. Like,
Yeah.
to be kicked off your planet and then come back and just say, I'm going to just kill everybody now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one else did anything to you besides your dad. Like,
No.
you can just kill your dad.
You could, but he's like no. In his head, it's like, yeah, my dad kicked me off the planet, but nobody stood up for me.
Because nobody knew.
Like, homeboy, you were in your room building weapons.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that anybody was your
So-
like your main friend on that planet.
So, like, let's say his dad didn't kick him off the planet and he kept building weapons. What was the end goal with that? To use them on his...
Well, I would assume that his end goal was to start taking over other planets.
So either way,
But-
he's probably going to do what he's going to do.
But I can't imagine that if they didn't have weapons like that in the first place, I can't imagine that Mentor wanted to go into war with anybody. Because it's like, yo, okay, go ahead and like try to take over that planet. But if they start coming back at us, we don't have the weaponry to.
Yeah, you
Like
don't have
that.
the weaponry, and then you're going to kick the guy who has the weaponry off your planet. Like, you're going to anger this guy
Yeah.
when you have nothing to fight, defend yourself against.
Yes, this is a broken family. Big time.
This is a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. So yeah, basically Kronos was like, I can help, but I can only help the planet one time. So Mentor's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Like, we need it. So Kronos' idea was to create Drax and make his sole mission to destroy Thanos, which I told you guys about. And then so now we switch back to the prison with Iron Man. And now he's in there with Drax, but Mentor sends a blast all the way from Titan to free them from the prison. So we keep seeing these stories where, like, all these blasts are just being shot from planets that we've from far, far away and just hitting one certain spot. Like, that takes some skill.
Yeah.
Because it, like, even like when you're shooting guns like at a far distance, you have to like account for the curve of the Earth.
Yeah.
So these guys are just like,
Yeah, you got to account for the curve of the planet that you're on, the speed and the
because it's gonna leave the atmosphere. You got to figure out where, like, how it's gonna come out of the atmosphere, and then once it gets into the other atmosphere, you got to figure out how it's gonna curve there.
You got to know what's in between as well too. Are there planets, asteroids that it has to go around? Like, you have to wait till 12 o'clock or something because that's when all the planets align, just so you can get that shot off.
Look at us trying to make sense of comic books. So yeah, he sends the blast all the way from Titan to free them. Well, Thanos is just walking around the room talking shit about the two of them, Drax and Iron Man. He's not paying attention.
Giving his normal villain speech.
Yeah, and then so those two get out of the prison, but the Blood Brothers are there to start fighting them to stop them, put them back in prison. But because Drax and Iron Man are going at it together, they beat the Blood Brothers, and then they start going towards Thanos to fight him, only to find out that Tony lays a punch on Thanos, and we find out that it was a robot decoy of Thanos. And so Thanos was watching from somewhere else, and then he's like, no. And he blows up the whole building. So Iron Man and Drax make it out alive, and then they're like, thank you for the help, like, really appreciate it. And then they shake hands and both go their own ways.
Wait, this is on a different planet, right?
No, it's in the Metropolis area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So after Thanos blew up the building, they were just like, well, we made it out alive, so thank you. They shake hands. They just go their own separate ways. Nothing else. There's nothing else said between the two of them. So, and then we switch over to Captain Marvel, and he's getting beat up by an alien that just disappears at the end of their fight. The alien is beating him down, and then Captain Marvel's just on the ground, and then the alien just disappears. And then Captain Marvel is worried because he lost half of his powers in that time between the Kree-Skrull War, and now he's somehow lost half of his powers.
How do you like equivalate half of your power?
He's probably got like a gauge on his arm, and just like when he has all of his powers available, all the lights are lit up.
I used to be able to fly, super strength, had laser beams.
Yeah,
he's got
high. One of those like those latch things like Buzz Lightyear. He just pops it up. He's like, oh damn, still half. Puts it down. So yeah, he's worried because he lost half of his powers, and then we make another quick jump to a mysterious man in a fancy chair who heard the news of Captain Marvel not having all of his powers with his super hearing, I guess. Like, he's in a completely different place.
There's all these convenient powers that all these villains have.
So, yeah, suddenly we switch back to Captain Marvel, and he's switching places with Rick, like in the Kree-Skrull War. And it happens every 3 hours again, like it used to. So they're just going back and forth. Captain Marvel's...
when you said he heard the news, I kept thinking of that SpongeBob episode where he's like, hey, all you people. Hey, all you people. Hey, all you people, won't you listen to me?
So we find out that that half of Captain Marvel's powers were drained by a guy named Professor Savannah, and that happened when he was trying to save Rick's life at one point.
Okay.
So that's what happened. And then when Rick shows up at Professor Savannah's office to get help, Captain Marvel get some of his powers back, Professor Savannah's dead on the ground when Rick shows up. And then the cops
not dead in the air?
No, he's dead on the ground. And then the cops show up with Rick's friend Luann, or kind of his girlfriend. I don't know why she was there, but she shows up with the cops, and she points right at Rick, and she's like, nah, he's the one who killed Professor Savannah. So Rick's like, oh, I just got here. What are you guys talking about? And he's looking at her like, why are you doing this to me? Like, you know I didn't kill him. And that's a whole different story. And when Rick gets taken to jail, he's like, well, I'm not going to sit in jail, so let me make this switch with Captain Marvel. But as soon as Captain Marvel shows up, our old buddy Ronan just pops into the station.
Ronan the Accuser?
Yep. He shows up right there in the police station as soon as Captain Marvel comes in.
He's just walking.
And then if you guys haven't figured it out by now, this mysterious man, I don't know how you would have figured it out now that I say it, but the mysterious man in the chair who uses super hearing to find out that Captain Marvel's powers were half gone, he is messing with Captain Marvel now. Basically putting like fakes in front of him, hallucinations kind of in front of him. So the cop that is in front of Captain Marvel, Ronan, all these other people around him, they're all fakes. Like none of it's real. But all of a sudden, all of Marvel's worst enemies start showing up. This guy called Megaton, Yon-Rogg, Hulk, Namor, Metazoid.
You could have not mentioned him. We wouldn't have known.
Nobody likes him. Every time I mention this guy, I have to go home and then hear Fairy will get pissed off at me. So yeah, some guy named Metazoid, some guy named Akon.
Imagine like it does like a slow pan across everybody's face, and Akon's there, and he's just like, convict.
The way I imagined it when I read it was like he's slowly panning across the room and he sees all of his enemies, and then there's this guy like sitting behind the bars in the thing, and he's just singing "Locked Up." And then he stops, not because he knows him, but he's like, what the hell is this guy doing?
He's like, oh, you I know. You. Who are you?
Who is this guy? And why is he singing right now? So yeah, he's panning across, seeing everybody, and then all of a sudden they all disappear. So now he's really like freaking out, right? And then Rick and Captain Marvel switch again, and then Rick passes out as soon as they switch. Rick passes out because Captain Marvel was like dealing with all the like stress of trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Sorry. I guess some of that stress landed on Rick when they switch, and he just passes out because it's just way too much for him to deal with. And then we find out that the fakes and the mysterious man in the chair, they're all Skrulls. And,
How are the fake scrolls if they were hallucinations or
well,
illusions?
sorry, the man in the chair was a Skrull, and he somehow was making the hallucinations. But it's all Skrull based, is what I mean. And the Skrulls,
This is scroll-based science, everybody.
yeah. And of the Skrulls, we have Super Skrull again. He's back, and a Skrull named Scrag. And then Rick is passed out, but he gets back. He gets back to consciousness, but he stays acting like he's sleeping, or he's knocked out still, because the Skrulls showed up at the police station, because the police station was real. So they show up at the police station, and Rick's just laying on the ground faking it, and then he hears the plan that Super Skrull and Scrag were working on, and then he's like, well, I gotta hurry up and switch back, because if they figure out that I'm faking it, like, I'm gonna be in some real trouble here. So I don't know if you remember that, like, for them to like purposely switch, they have to like cling their wrists together. So he like quietly like clicks it together, so they switch back, and then Captain Marvel shows up. He's beating the hell out of both of them, even with only half of his powers. And then he beats them both down. Like, the building collapses. Like, he's that pissed. And then Super Skrull and Scrag are like, no, we're not dealing with this anymore. And I didn't know that they could teleport, but they can.
Nice.
Yeah.
How convenient.
Yeah. So they teleport back home, wherever their planet is. I can't remember the name of it right now. And then Rick switches back with Captain Marvel, and they head out. Rick heads out to go figure out why Luann did him dirty like that and snitched on him when he didn't do it. So then we get Rick and Captain Marvel to switch back again when they get to Luann's, and then she goes on to explain that Thanos has been putting these thing called slave discs on all of the top world leaders to make them do what he wants. And Captain Marvel is like, how? He's like, how the fuck do you know this? And she's like, if he can control them, he can control her too. And she pulls out, she just pulls out a gun, and she starts shooting at Captain Marvel. So like, I guess she's basically saying that Thanos like wanted them to know what was going on. So so she has a slave disc on the back of her neck.
Okay, I was about to say, sounds like she has one.
Yeah, no, she has a slave disc on the back of her neck.
Okay.
So she's like, well, if he can control all those people, like the top leaders, she can control anybody, or he can control anybody he wants to. And then all of a sudden, she just like slowly pulls out a gun from her pocket, and then she points it at Captain Marvel, and then she starts shooting at him. But
I'm sorry, why does Thanos need to control the world leaders?
because he wants to destroy the world, he wants to destroy Earth. But like I told you in the beginning, how
But he wants to do it slowly and politically.
Yeah, it's because he, like I said, he's simping pretty hard for Lady Death. And if anybody doesn't know the backstory between the two of them, his whole thing is just like he's trying to impress her, like always. And the thing that he thinks is always going to impress her is him killing people because they're going to die.
Yeah.
So his next plan is to basically kill everybody on Earth.
Well, wasn't he making weapons that he can just...
Yeah, but that was years ago. That was way before he got kicked off.
So many questions.
And we don't even know how big the weapons were. They could have just not had weapons on their planet in the first place. And he's like in his
arrows.
Yeah. He's like,
get off my planet. Sorcery.
He just wanted to be like Hawkeye. So yeah, she pulls out the gun and she starts shooting at Captain Marvel. As we know already, he's impervious to all that stuff. It's not gonna hurt him. But at that point, we cut back to Super Skrull and Scrag, they're basically watching Luann pull out that gun on Captain Marvel from like, I don't know. Do they have a security camera somewhere? But they're watching it on the TV screen from wherever the hell they are. And Thanos is standing right behind them watching the same thing. So
Like he's in the same room behind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And so now we know the Skrulls are working with Thanos as well. But Super Skrull says some stuff that pisses off Thanos. And then Thanos kicks him out for a bit. And because it's Super Skrull, he has all the powers of the Fantastic Four. So he's like, whatever, kick me out. And then when he gets out, he starts flying around the city like Johnny Storm. So he flames on and he's just flying around.
Like Thanos, I feel like he said something like uncool, and Thanos was like, "Whoa, man, you need to chill. He's like, go take a walk." He's like, "Don't tell me to chill. I'll do what I want." And he leaves and just like flies off in like an angsty, like kind of like, "I'll come back when I'm ready to come back."
He goes to the roof and he's like, ah! And then he flames on and just flies off.
But Thanos is just like, "Man, that guy has some issues.
He's got some real issues over there.
Poor soul."
So yeah, he flies off like Johnny Storm, and then when he's flying around, he sees our old friend Ben Grimm, the Thing, walking down the street, and he's like, "Whatever, I'm pissed off," and he goes to attack Ben, and then he's beating him, and then he says, "Hey, meet me at this certain address if you want a real fight." So of course Ben shows up.
He just tells him an address.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, you want to really fight? Meet me here."
You ambushed me.
Yeah. But because Ben's so hot-headed, he's like, yeah, whatever. I'll meet you there. So Ben shows up, and there's this weapon that shoots Ben, and it takes his voice away. And then Rick is there as well, and Rick sees Ben and thinks that Super Skrull is... He doesn't see Super Skrull at all, right? Mm-hmm. We don't see Johnny anywhere. All he sees is Ben. So Rick thinks that Ben is the Super Skrull pretending to be Ben. And then Ben thinks that Super Skrull is pretending to be Rick. And then, right when Rick shows up and thinks that Super Skrull was pretending to be Ben, he immediately switched with Captain Marvel because he's like, well, I can't beat anybody myself. So now he's Captain Marvel. So Ben sees Captain Marvel and thinks that Super Skrull is pretending to be him. So that's I almost got that messed up. These two Ben and Captain Marvel start fighting, and Captain Marvel keeps calling Ben a Skrull because he can't talk and say that he's not.
Okay.
And Scrag shows up and plans that Captain Marvel's going to kill the Thing, or is hoping that Captain Marvel kills the Thing, thinking that he's a Skrull, only to realize it was a real thing and then go crazy because he actually killed a friend. It doesn't work that way. Captain Marvel doesn't get down like that. So Thanos is pissed. He's like, you guys' plans don't work. Like, you guys keep trying stuff and it's not working. So he kills Scrag. And Captain Marvel and the Thing go on to investigate some loud noise that just went off, which was Thanos killing Scrag.
What did he kill him with, the bazooka?
Probably one of those weapons that he built. So they go to investigate the noise like white people normally do. And then when they get there to investigate the noise, they realize that it came from Thanos, and Thanos is like just staring down at them, like, you guys shouldn't go any further here. And now's your time to leave. And of course Ben is already pissed off, so they go in, and Thanos literally almost kills Ben with just like a flick of a wrist. Remember in was it Endgame? Or no, it was Infinity War when Thanos started fighting Hulk.
Yeah.
And was like easily just handling him. Like, this was worse than that. He just like gave him it looked like a love tap, and then Ben like literally almost died from it. And then Thanos tells Captain Marvel that he wishes him no harm. All he wants is Rick. He's like, you switch with Rick, get Rick over here. That's the only one I want. And then Rick like hears that in the negative zone, And he's like, well, I don't want to, but I don't want to see my friend get hurt. So he's like, Marvel, you need to hurry up and switch with me. So they switch, which was stupid on their part. And then Thanos is like, all right, get over here. And then takes Rick to Titan with him. Just basically kidnaps him. So Thanos has his goons throw Rick into this basically a mind reader machine called Isaac, and it stands Isaac stands for Integral Synaptic Anti-Anionic Computer. Isaac. And I'm only going to call it Isaac from here on, so because that's way too much. And after Thanos gets the readings from the computer, he discovers that the machine doesn't dig deep enough into the mind to get the information that he wanted. So he's like, nope, put him back in the chair. We got to dig deeper here. Because he believes that Rick has the subconscious knowledge of the location of the cosmic cube.
This is like Captain Marvel the movie.
Yeah.
And they're trying to get the information from her head.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he believes that Rick has the subconscious knowledge of where the cosmic cube is.
Oh, that's literally, yeah, like the movie.
Yeah.
Because they are looking for the...
And then so he digs a little bit deeper, and he does actually find the coordinates for where the cube is, and Thanos just takes off to Earth because it's on Earth. And he leaves Super Skrull in charge. And Rick is in handcuffs in the closet. Because that's all he wanted was just information. It's like, I'm not going to kill you. I just want to know where it's at. So then, yeah, after Thanos just takes off, Rick is met in the closet by two other people. And this is the first time that we see Mentor and Eros in the story. And they say, Rick, we need your help. They start showing him some visions of what Titan looked like before Thanos went mad. And then they showed him images of what it's become after all that stuff. And then Rick is, of course, taking this all on by himself. He starts to get pissed off. And then he lets them know, he's like, if I can't save the planet, then Captain Marvel will. But one of us is going to save it for you. And then we cut to Thanos transporting to the coordinates that he found of the cosmic cube. And he's got Lady Death right by his side. Just not saying a thing. Never says a thing. Just sitting there. And then he gets to the cube, and then right before he grabs it, he's startled by a voice. And then when he turns around, our buddy Drax is just sitting there. He's waiting to kill him. And then we make another cut to Super Skrull in Thanos' office. He's just digging. He's digging through his drawers, looking for stuff, and and he's watching because the computer that was reading Rick's thoughts. It recorded everything as like video basically. So Super Skrull's basically just sitting there watching a video of all of Rick's thoughts. So he can also learn the location of the cube. And then we find out that the Intelligence Supreme from the Kree-Skrull War, when he was talking to Rick that time, he implanted the location of the cube into Rick's mind at that time. So snooping around, Rick and Captain Marvel have already switched at this point. So now Captain Marvel's snooping around, and he runs into Super Skrull, and then they basically just have a battle to the death, and Captain America lives to fight another day.
Captain Marvel.
I keep getting them messed up. Captain Marvel lives to fight another day, and we do not see Super Skrull again.
Because he's dead?
I don't know. No, we don't get any information there. We just don't see him again. So after the battle, Mentor and Eros say Captain Marvel is no longer needed on Titan, and they can transport, and they basically transport him against his will to the Avengers mansion, where Luann is on her deathbed all of a sudden. And then Luann's on her deathbed, so Captain Marvel and Rick switch back again. So now that we got Rick, but Captain America is like, "Hey, buddy, what the hell are you doing here? Because they used to
Captain
be part.
Marvel.
No, this is Captain America.
Oh,
this
Captain
time.
America.
Yeah. No, because they're at Avengers Mansion this time. So Captain America's there. And him and Rick used to be partners before. So he's like, yeah, Rick, you got to explain what the hell's going on here. And they want to know who the hell is Thanos. Because Luann came here talking about Thanos. And Iron Man is like the only one who has had any like run-ins with him. And they're trying to figure out like what is this guy really about. I don't know why they're going to Rick, and Rick can't fight.
Rick seems to have. I've noticed that he has a lot of. He's in a lot of the action, even though he, for some reason, shouldn't be.
Yeah.
A lot depends on Rick Jones in a lot of comics for some reason.
Yeah, and he is like, his only power is being able to switch with somebody else that has powers. Like, I'm glad they didn't bring that into the movie. So, yeah. So, Rick's basically just says all the same things Iron Man said. He's strong. His whole plan is to just kill everybody. And then we get, once they all figured out what is really going on, they realize, okay, we got to put a stop to Thanos. But little do they know, someone else is already in the mansion ready to kill them. And it looks like it's Thanos.
Dun dun dun.
And then, you ever play a game where you have to like hide in the shadows and like kind of like pick off like the other team?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's basically what that shadowy figure is doing. So like he makes like some noise, and then they're like, "What the hell was that?" And then like the first person to go check it out is like T'Challa, and then he basically like chokes him out. Once he gets into the shadows, he chokes him out, lays him down. Then Vision goes, he beats Vision. Wanda goes, and then even Captain America gets the same thing. And then Iron Man thinks that with all the commotion going on, don't worry, guys, I'm Iron Man. I can handle all of this. And then he goes over there and he gets beat too. And then once the Shadow Man comes out of the comfort of the darkness, it's revealed that it's actually somebody named the Controller. And I don't know if you guys know who he is. Do you know who he is?
No.
It's basically just like this big bad guy. He looks almost like Thanos. But he doesn't have the cosmic powers and all that stuff. And Thanos has promised him that he was the creator of the slave discs.
Oh.
So
So one of his collaborators.
yeah. So Thanos has promised him that if we get these slave discs on all these people, I will kill everybody except for the people that we put the slave discs on. And then once I've killed everybody else here on the planet, those people, the slave discs, will now be your people, and then you'll be the ruler of the planet. And then I'll leave. And if you know anything about Thanos, you know that he's not going to hold his word there.
Oh, he does kind of look like Thanos.
Yeah. Yeah. So we find out that
His real name is Basil Sandhurst.
So yeah, we find out that's the Controller, and then he tries to put a slave. Captain Marvel's there now because he switched with Rick when all the commotion was going on, and Controller tries to put a slave disc on Captain Marvel, but it doesn't work because he can keep switching back and forth with Rick. So basically, he switches with Rick, and then comes back, and then that thing just falls off of his neck, so that doesn't work. But the Controller still ends up getting the upper hand because he just like, well, fuck it. If I can't beat you, I'm just going to collapse the whole building. So he just crumbles the whole building on top of Marvel. But Captain Marvel does something kind of shitty at this point because once the building comes down, then he switches with Rick. Well, sorry, no. It wasn't Captain Marvel's fault, but when the building collapsed, they switched unknowingly. Like something made them switch, and neither one of them know how it happened. But it separated the two of them. So now Rick's stuck in the rubble of the building, and Captain Marvel's just out there. It was weird. And then we find Marvel lost in the galaxy in front of Eon.
Marvel in the Lost Galaxy.
So we find him in front of Eon, which is a cosmic entity that places different beings to be protectors of the universe.
Both of us just had this look on our face. Just like, what did you say?
I had that look on my face like I didn't know what I said. So there's this being called Eon, and Eon is the one that's basically separated Rick and Marvel. And he transported Marvel in front of him to let him know that he's going to be the protector of, I guess, the universe. And yeah. And yeah, Eon tells him that they want to, in order for Captain Marvel to become the protector of the universe, he has to stop thinking like Captain Marvel the warrior and get himself to start thinking like Captain Marvel the protector of the universe, which is a struggle for him because all he's ever known is to be a warrior. So then we cut to a cave on Earth, and that cave is the home of the Cosmic Cube. And Drax and Big T are getting ready to battle it out when Thanos uses a time-mined sync warp. I'm sorry if these phrases get confusing for people, but he basically alters the reality around the both of them. So at one point, like, we see a panel and then Drax kind of looks like Gumby. And then there's multiple versions of Thanos just like floating around Drax. He doesn't know which one is real. And there's a cartoon version of the both of them, like a really like cartoonish kind of style. And there's like some house that looks like it came from Minecraft that just shows up, and Thanos is just inside of it. And then Thanos all of a sudden turns himself larger than Goliath, and then he picks up Drax by his cape, just like hanging him, dangling in front of his face. And then all of this is just making Drax just go crazy for a bit. And then Drax passes out, and then now with Drax out of the way, Thanos can now possess the Cosmic Cube. And then with that, we're going to call part 1, because I think that's a good part to...
Yeah, that's a good to be continued.
Yeah, so
TBC.
We will, I guess, make it quick and simple for everybody. We'll see you guys we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yep.
And we will be back with part 2 of the Thanos War.
Let's see if he wins.
Let's see.
If he wins, we lose.
And if he wins, he'll send you $1. Each one of you.
And that's his promise.
That's a Thanos promise, baby. If you survive, he sends you $1. But yeah, we will be back next week with part 2. We will see you then.
Bye.
See ya.